WNBC.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh man, come on, Pig Virus.
I'm starting over right now.
That's the only reason I keep throwing all this shit out.
WNBC.
WNBC. Come on, join it, man.
WNBC.
You could say
No,
coming out of my
it's
mouth
more like this. You got to WNBC. WNBC. No. It's more
pig vomit.
WNBC.
Yes, he knows. Oh shit, knocking my shit over here. Butch Walker, my old fucking amigo from the Air Force days, stationed at Ramstein, Germany, 22 years ago or some shit now, probably. Sanity. How fucking old did we get? Quick. Man, you think an hour of this podcast goes by quick? 20 years goes by quick.
It went by pretty fucking fast, man.
It only accelerates the older you get.
Huh?
It only accelerates the older you get, you know, how fast it goes by.
Yeah, the relativity
because shit doesn't mean anything anymore.
Chris, turn your camera down just a tiny bit.
Huh?
Yeah, you're more centered there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
For fuck's sakes, man, you're throwing us off, Chris.
We always start where he's up high, and then by the end of it, he's like,
starting crying.
Yeah, like
because I get closer to the mic.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just funny.
Right.
Anyway.
This is my old buddy Butch Walker. This is an episode of Hard Out where we do my favorite movie. We have a guest on to bullshit about their favorite movie, and his favorite movie is one of the best fucking movies of all time, in the running for our favorite movie, even though we don't have one because it's an absurd question. Tell them what it is, Butch, with that fucking joint hanging out of your mouth.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, man.
God damn. R.P. McMurphy, Jack fucking Nicholson.
Peculiar.
Ken Kesey fucking novel turned into a movie by Milos Forman. God damn.
Michael Douglas involved, right?
Yeah, well, Kirk Douglas did it on Broadway, the play version. It started as Ken Kesey's novel. Ken Kesey, you may or may not know, folks out there, he was the leader of the Merry Pranksters. Tom Wolfe wrote the Electric Kool-Aid acid test about the Merry Pranksters, where they would go around on this bus called Further. They were these hippies just like dosing motherfuckers with acid and shit. And Neil Cassidy, Kerouac's old buddy Neil Cassidy, drove the bus and shit. Ken Kesey's a fucking legend. He wrote One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Kirk Douglas starred in it on Broadway as a play. And Michael Douglas, his son, was in his early 20s at the time, produced it with Saul Lentz, I think.
That's what I was getting at. Kirk Douglas, not Michael.
Kirk Douglas. Michael Douglas, though,
initially it was
he got an Oscar when he was in his early 20s for Best Picture for this movie, because Michael Douglas is the producer on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing. If nobody out there has seen this movie, I don't know what fucking rock you've been hiding under, but you know, you better get something figured out.
High. It's trending real high on Netflix right now, and I think it might be because of the show Ratched. If you're familiar with that, they did basically Nurse Ratched's origin story.
Looks terrible.
I watched the pilot, and it's nothing like Cuckoo's Nest. It's like.
Well, like one thing I wanted to say about the movie that I love so much, Milos Forman, the way he used to make movies back in the day, there's fucking hardly any music in it. And if there is any music, it's something they're playing on a record player. It's not, and that show though is full of these fucking swelling affected music, and the way it's shot's all affected and the lighting's all bullshit and everything. That shit just puts you in the mental ward, fly on the wall, essentially. There was no music, no fancy camera work, none of that shit. Just killer performances.
Yeah.
Fucking
and then you had the whole improv of the World Series, man. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, that was excellent. Yeah.
Amazing.
And that bitch hated it. You could see it in her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Jack fucking Nicholson, man.
Dude, all of them. Come on,
yeah,
Martini.
I loved that crowd, man. It's so endearing.
This is one of my questions I want to ask you. What was your favorite? Essentially, it's McMurphy, R.P. McMurphy's Whack Pack, if you want to keep the Stern references and shit going. Like, who would you say was your favorite of the Whack Packers? Man, they're so awesome. It's hard to pick these dudes. You got Cheswick. You got, what's his name? Biancini or whatever. It's like, I'm tired.
Me?
Of course.
Cheswick is great.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, Christopher Lloyd as Tabor.
God damn it, Harding. Artie.
Fucking Danny DeVito as Martini.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Young Danny DeVito.
Mm-hmm.
And Brad Dourif as Billy fucking crushed it. Oh, that Nick Vincent.
You like looking at cards, dude? You like looking at other people's cards? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Fucking Vincent Schiavelli. He's that creepy looking dude who's like on the train in Ghost, that Patrick Swayze movie. You know what I'm
Yes,
talking
that's the one. Like when the alcohol comes in, Jack Nicholson goes over to him and looks at him and goes,
Yes.
I love those moments. Like when he had to get a vote for
that's what it was. When he was getting a vote, he looked at him like,
that's that Hills Have Eyes.
Different
dude.
guy, yeah.
Different guy, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
But
that was a hilarious moment.
Imagine if they made it now, though. All these actors they'd have playing these roles. They'd fucking central casting bullshit. These motherfuckers were crazy looking.
Dude, to me, that is the original, like, hey, let's go make this cartoon. We're going to have this all-star cast, you know, to do the voices. Like, that was an all-star cast back at the time, and the fuckers lived there, you know?
Yes.
Like, they stayed in that place. They never left.
Yes.
It was
the
that
way it
door
was made,
locked,
right?
And bam. And that shitty classical music.
They had to play it so loud because whether you like it or not, there's a couple of very old patients with hard hearing on this unit who have to hear it. Fucking Nurse Ratched. Part of me, I was trying to watch it this time and think, though, was she truly evil?
Nah.
Or did the movie just force us to side with him?
No. There is hold on, I gotta put my fucking phone on. My wife is I gotta go do not disturb. But yes, she can't understand normal thinking. I'll just put it that way. You find out the initials. But yeah, there's a jealousy there because
can't understand normal thing. He called her a cunt in the movie. It's all right.
So
right, no, yeah, you don't have to.
Here's the deal. Here's my aspect of it. And I kind of see myself in this same kind of role at times, is that I want to bring people together, okay? Mm-hmm. And these people who might think they're fucking delusional sometimes, you know what? You're not delusional. Jay, I think we went through that in Germany.
You and I were both R.P. McMurphys in that unit.
So you see what I mean? So it's one of those things to where, yeah, them motherfuckers, she was jealous because she had their sole attention. Like, hey, when it was time for fucking sit down, God damn it, they sat down and they all talked. When he got there,
dude, the perfect way to illustrate it was when he first shuffled those cards.
That's what I was just fixing to say.
He shuffles the cards and she looks, motherfucker.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, this is going to be a troublemaker.
Taking the attention. Yeah, exactly. Is he going to get some cards and do that shit? God, I wish I was a real
I was going. Get out of my fucking head, dude. I hate your guts.
I've been in your head since Germany.
He's sitting there. He's in that green brown, like a BDU shirt, and his shit's all rolled up over here like his cigarettes, and he's looking. His hair's all fucked up, and
so good,
all everywhere. and they're talking. Well, you know, I can only suspect my wife has cheated on me. And he's all.
Yes.
And everybody stops.
I'm talking about form.
Bitch hated
content.
See, he's an attention grabber. I mean, that guy is magnetic. I don't give a shit what he's in. We could go on for
no
days.
one like him.
No, we need to spend at least 20 minutes of this thing just sucking Jack Nicholson's dick.
Well, and let me say, so his small little part in Easy Rider.
Yes.
Man, that alone was Oscar worthy.
Yo, for years, even on this podcast, Chris and I, every time we do a shot, speaking of which, raise a glass, motherfucker. I'm drinking some bourbon. I don't know
what up? Peace and love.
Fucking every time we do a shot, we say engines. And we thought that was from the movie, but he said Indians in the movie. But that was an ode to Easy Rider. Remember that? Where he takes that swig and he's like, Indians.
Yeah.
Fucking, so we kept saying engines. We're fucking racist or something. I don't know. We're part engine. Fuck you.
It works out, but I mean, even look, the guy says a line that's recognized worldwide is, "You make me want to be a better man."
Oh yeah.
In a movie like As Good as It Gets. Now get the fuck out of here. Who doesn't know that? Hey, what dude out there hasn't secretly watched that fucking movie and used that? You make me want to be a better man.
And
I've
of
used it
course,
multiple times. It doesn't work. You'll get divorced. But you know what? Fuck it. It gets them
served on a podcast.
you can't handle the truth.
Yeah.
That shit, man.
God damn it, that guy. I'm telling you.
I want you to
You
hold
goddamn right I ordered the code red.
Yes. Dude, the 5 Easy Pieces shit.
Yeah, Tom Cruise, you think he wet his pants right there, but he really ejaculated. He was.
He did both. He's a squirter, Tom Cruise. You know that shit's pee, people.
Tom. But Demi Moore, how about that? Woo.
Yeah, that was her fucking prime real estate.
Yeah,
right
and then come to find out she did Chicks too with fucking. That's a whole nother story. But anyway, Jack Nicholson is the shit. You know what? I like to use that term. I laid more pipe than CE. Jack Nicholson has laid more pipe than the oil fields. Okay, it's like it's over.
Dude, he's the king. The king. Did you ever hear that story? How he stole? David Spade told it on Stern, I think, about he was dating Laura Flynn Boyle, and Jack Nicholson came up and said, "Hey, I'm thinking about asking her out." He's like, "What?
You won't mind?"
I'm asking my girlfriend. Yeah, I'm thinking about asking her out. And he wasn't like asking permission or anything. He was just telling him. And then sure enough, he fucking asked her out and she just started dating Jack Nicholson. Mr. Steal Your Girl, fucking the original.
That's fucking
damn
core, man.
I dig it.
Louis C.K. wanted Jack to be on his show. I think it was that Horace and Pete show he was making. And he called Jack up and finally, after some effort, was able to talk to him and asked if he could be on the show. And Jack said, look, every day I go outside and I open up a book under a tree and I read the book. I'm not going to do your fucking show. he's so over it.
Now he just reads books under trees.
Yeah, just goes to fucking,
That's cool though. You think he's just fucking off
books.
And
I have no interest in that shit anymore. Just fucking showing up on a set.
Gene Hackman too, another fucking goat who's just done with it. And he was done earlier.
Doesn't give a shit. He's kind of like Steve Martin said, fuck it, I'm just going to play banjo.
Yeah. Steve Martin's another goat. The best dudes are like, fuck this racket. All these dummies running around, everyone thinking.
I got my millions.
Movie industry. It's absurd.
Even Rob Zombie says, fuck it, I'm just going to paint pictures, man.
Mm-hmm. Jim Carrey was doing this shit for a while, just painting.
How about him as fucking Joe Biden, dude? That was
great.
Prolific.
He's not going to keep doing it. I
know he gave it up. The prick.
Who'd they get now?
I know that was one of the reasons I was, I was hoping.
I don't know. I'm waiting for him to come knock on my door. Stand by.
Let's see your Joe Biden. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
What the fuck's happening? I don't know. This one's off to a crazy start. Can we sustain?
Butch Baggins in his hobbit hole.
Oh shit! Oh, what the fuck? Is this thing going?
Hey, Chinatown's another one. Oh, Jackie boy.
Chinatown, classic.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
The Two Jakes. That's the sequel he directed himself.
The Shining, of course.
Here's an awesome thing. Cuckoo's Nest. I was sitting there watching it and haven't seen it for a couple years, but man, fucking as good as ever. But watching Danny DeVito's Martini's dumbass sit there thinking when they're playing poker for cigarettes and calling it a dime, if he snaps a cigarette in half, it's 2 nickels and shit. And I'm sitting there watching, and I was like, I can't believe this dude goes on to direct Jack Nicholson in that Hoffa movie one day. Danny DeVito directed Hoffa. Fucking Martini directed R.P. McMurphy in a movie and shit. What?
That was a good movie too, though. But
did you read the book, Who Flew Over the Cuckoo, or One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
No, but I want to. I've got this like whole collector set of it. So it's crazy how it happened. So I was actually laying on my couch in room 207 in our dorms, 2104, some shit. Dude, I can't fucking remember. But
I don't remember my life. So for you to even know dorm room numbers and shit, I'm jealous. I remember nothing.
Yeah, well, I remember that 207. They're the stupid people or SPs. They came over there a lot, but
they did.
I was hung over on a Saturday or Sunday. Could have been a Monday or Tuesday also. I don't know, but I was sitting there watching, and like Cool Hand Luke came on first, and so I watched that, and I was like,
damn.
And I remember I'm going to go out and buy this movie. And then like an hour after that, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest came on. It was
what a lineup.
Shit.
You know, a Jack
That'll get you kicked out of the Air Force watching them motherfuckers back to back.
This is the first time you saw it, you're saying?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
And
Both of them?
I love the
bottom. And
That's
it was
nice.
like,
That's a
holy
fucking
shit.
afternoon, man. Yes.
Hungover, watch those two.
Yeah, and like I said, it's one of those things where like something clicked in my brain, and I had to go straight to the BX, and I had to buy that shit. Like it was
That's
mine.
beautiful.
I had it on DVD. You know, fuck. It's mind blowing. It's like listening to some of Gordon Lightfoot songs. They're just catchy, and it's something that hooks in your brain. And it's like I've done the same thing with that. Like, and the Girl from Ipanema. And shit like that. Like I got to go out and buy it. I've got to harness that because it's something you just have to have. Like it
Right. It's like the first time you get laid, you're like, I got to go buy some. No.
Yeah. Quanto West as you're walking around in Frankfurt. Quanto West.
Did you find it hard? Yeah, the little red light RVs and shit out there. Did you find it harder being in the military after watching those two movies and just the anti-authority angle of them, that rebellious streak and shit?
Well, there was that we did have our rebellious time, you know, chunking fire extinguishers in the hallways, throwing canned goods in the hallways.
Oh yeah, stealing fucking Humvees to go run through farmer fields.
Exactly. We're gonna go. Hey, you know what? This is not our Humvee. Hey, we're running to recycling. We're gonna take this other Humvee we got. We'll be back, and then go and hitting the track, and then you jump it. And you go so high that you come down, you think you're going to flip it over, but you land right on the front and it cracks the hood, and then it won't start.
So that was us.
It starts and you take it back and you never drive it again.
Yeah, that was us breaking a Humvee on the track.
This 5-ton photo is me and Jay, as a matter of fact. We took this thing on the same track that we did that Humvee, but I was driving and I had to go back because the little seat adjustment thing over here caught my BDUs and ripped them right to where where my blouse came over the top of it. And I was like, fuck, dude. But hey, that 5-ton was fun. It was on its way to Albania. We broke it in real good.
Yeah, there was another time, I don't know how much you know this story. I won't name who the other dude was with me, but we were just hammered in the barracks one night. And we're like, let's go to Burger King or some shit. So we took this girl. Do you remember there was like this Wiccan girl who would carry a sugar glider around in her pocket?
She
lived in the barracks, had a sugar glider hidden in her barracks room in the military, little fucking sugar glider thing. And she would walk around in her BDUs with a sugar glider in her pocket. And she was Wiccan witch and shit. But she had this shitty old orange BMW. And me and he who will not be named took her car. We're like, let's take her car. Her keys are right there. So we basically stole her car to go to Burger King, hammered. And there's this young rookie airman we were trying to break in, basically. I don't remember his name, but he wanted to go with us. We said, the only way you can go is if you're in the trunk. So we made his ass get in the trunk, right? So we're riding to Burger King, hammered with this dude in the trunk. And I look at, God, I almost said his name. I look over at homeboy and I'm like, you know what we got to do, right? He's like, no. I said, we're in the trunk, dude. We got to hit the Humvee track in this chick's BMW with this dude in the trunk.
Oh, man.
We're going to catch air. He's going to be like, what the fuck is happening? That's hilarious. So we go out. This is like 3 a.m, hammered, hit the Humvee track in this girl's shitty little fucking Beamer, catch air like the Dukes of Hazzard. I think I was going like, as we're flying through the air and shit.
Yeah.
Dude,
good old boys.
Boom.
No harm.
And just stuck in like a foot of mud, dude. So we got this chick stolen car, dude in the trunk, stuck in the mud on the Humvee track with a stolen car. So then, and here's the reason I really will not name the dude. Man, he was filming all this shit. There's a tape of this shit somewhere, dude. All of it.
Got to get our hands on this.
I know. And he says he still does it. He's retired now, but still, he might be too. Anyway,
I know.
So we're out there with our Leathermans, like sawing pieces of wood and shit, trying to put dunnage down to get the fucking car out of the mud and everything. And then finally, we're like, dude, still in the trunk the whole time. By the way, like 40 minutes, we're like trying to cut branches.
I was wondering that, like, was
still in the trunk?
Was it like, did he get?
We don't need your help, dude. Just stay in there. Stay in there.
It was basically hazing, but it was friendly, dude. He was like laughing and drunk and shit the whole time, but sort of.
It wasn't me.
If I have him on the podcast, he'll probably say he got hazed and shit. But
we should talk about it. It'd be awesome.
In the video, I just look up. I remember this moment in the video where I look up and I'm like, you know what we got to do, right? And he's like, yep. And this motherfucker, like fucking some filmmaker back in the day doing like Francis Ford Coppola doing in-camera editings, faded to black, like close the shutter and shit. So I'm like, you know what we got to do, right? It fades to black and then cuts on. Dude, we fucking stole $1.50 to tow her fucking car because we knew all the lock combos. So it's like 3 a.m. Now we're stealing government property to get the stolen car.
Yeah, because our code was 6942.
There it is. I didn't remember it until he said it. Now it comes back. 6942, man. So we ganked $1.50 to pull this fucking car out of the mud. Dude in the trunk the whole time, and then finally went and got the Burger King with her car just covered in mud and shit. Came back, dropped it off, gave this dude his Burger King, and I think like 2 days later, the chick was just, because she didn't use her car every day. You know, people lots of times wouldn't go off base or whatever for days. So her car was just sitting there. She finally went out to use it. It was just like, what the fuck? Just covered in mud. Axle probably cracked and shit.
6942. I wonder if that's a Kinky Douglas Adams fan or came up with that code.
Yeah, no shit. So
I don't know. It's something that I just remember because I did the vehicle training, so I knew the Humvee course real good.
Yeah.
In fact, Jay's first time on it, I did his training, and we drove the shit out of that thing, man. We had a blast. Me and Jesse and Saint was in there. You know, there was a bunch of us, and shit, that was just good times. And
I know. And this is in a way talking about the movie because it was just RP McMurphy shit. It was just like living out loud, not gonna let these authority figures dampen your spirit and shit. And the message of this movie, though, is they will if you keep fighting them. Like I got out. I could if I had stayed in the military, it would have ended like it did for RP McMurphy. I had to get the fuck out. You know what I mean? Some people just like his problem was if he had left, Billy wouldn't have killed himself. You know what I'm saying? He was about to go out the window.
Yeah, he was just a good guy. Like, hey,
right, but he wanted to get Billy laid. That's the only reason he didn't escape.
You're a good kid, you know. You've seen chicks, you know what you want. Hey man, I ain't worried about it. Go fuck her real quick, you know.
Right.
The kid was in love, like as soon as he saw her, and
that was his whole problem. Just scared of women because of his mother. You could tell through Nurse Ratched and everything.
And that's why I say you asked earlier, was she fucking evil? Yeah. Because you know what? He was scared of his mother. That's why he had a stuttering problem in the first place, probably. And then, oh, do you want me to tell your mother what you've done? Well, fuck no, I don't want you to do that, you fucking cunt. Please don't. You know? And she's like, oh, I'm going to call her. And he's like, well, fuck. You know?
Yep.
Well, get this.
That's evil, man. That ought to be American horror story. Yeah. Those pricks that make that ought to make it. Let's do that. Why don't we write something together that is an American Horror Story about really Nurse Ratched in that ward with those people?
That's how it should be to the show, you know.
Because, I mean, fuck. Those guys were all volunteers.
I know. That was the thing. Most of them. That was a great reveal in the movie that most of them weren't in there by force.
When he found that out, it was, you know what I equate that to? Like, I haven't seen everything that I've seen. When he finds out that all those people are there because they want to be there and they could leave at anything, it's like looking at fucking William Wallace staring up at fucking the Bruce and going,
like the betrayal.
You just did what?
Some of the best acting ever in that moment, man.
Yes.
You know, that's what I equate that to. And you see that just look in his face, and he's just, you know, and it's just like the way that he talks to Chief throughout the movie.
Yes.
When he knew from the get-go, when he looked at him, how you doing, Chief? He already knew.
Saw that glimmer in the eye.
I tell you what, you could watch it 1,000,000 times. Check out Chief's face whenever he does it. When they show his face, you see something, at least I think I do. I see something right then where I'm like, that
like an acknowledgement. Yeah.
You know, he can hear. There's something up with him. You know,
you should read the novel, because the novel, I don't know if you know this, the novel is written from Chief's point of view.
Yeah, and I think Kesey actually
very interesting.
Hated that the movie didn't do that. Like,
I think it was great the way it was. The movie should have been the way it was.
Me too.
But yeah, because it is about R.P. McMurphy. He just picked the Chief as the way into it.
Right.
I did. You know what I mean? I agree. Look, can I ask you this though? Which version of Willy Wonka would you rather see? Would you want to see the version with Gene Wilder that the writer of the book said, "Fuck that, I'll never watch it"? Or do you want to watch the one with Johnny Depp that goes right along with the book?
Oh yeah, famously, The Shining always comes up in these conversations. You know, Stephen King hated it. I think the movie's amazing and much better than the book, in my opinion. And he liked Dr. Sleep, which I thought was inferior to The Shining. So
I'll say with Willy Wonka, I'd like to see a third version that's true to the book. That's not the Johnny Depp version.
Sure, there are other ways to do it. Yeah.
Here's what if that's the story, I want to see it during the time frame that they did
I want to see a Victorian era,
not some Michael Jackson version. But
I want David Lynch to do it, dude, like Elephant Man style. David Lynch in Victorian England type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because it really is like this devil satanic figure, you know, selling their souls and shit, being corrupted. God damn, we're all over the place, but I love it. That's what it shows at its best.
So back to that's what I'm getting at though. What you were saying about who we dealt with over there, there was something attractive about us, just the same, like what I was saying, that I felt that way, you felt that way. There was something attractive about us, the same that R.P. McMurphy, whenever he stepped into that realm, he was like a magnet, and they were just enamored with, check this motherfucker out, and look, he's giving her shit. We can't do that, although they could, you know?
I know.
Yeah,
it's
just flip a switch. Yeah.
It's like the only reason you can't is because you aren't. Like, I remember I got to the point, you remember how I was getting out. I just started getting my clinger from MASH on and fucking acting out and doing weird shit. And you remember my room with all the elevated furniture and the hieroglyphs and shit?
Why not?
But
and then I get it.
Eventually, though, I remember they called me into the commander's office. First
Brown,
mob, fucking the colonel. Yes, Colonel Brown. They called me in there, and they were like, "You're just becoming like a cancer to the unit. Like, you're being a bad influence on the other airmen and shit." And I was just like so proud of them. And I felt like R.P. McMurphy. I felt like he was just telling me that I was riling up the other, getting them to think freely and question shit. And, you know. Yeah.
He was the nurse. He was the Nurse Ratchet. Like, hey, man, I want to get fucking rid of you.
You ever see that movie Tigerland with Colin Farrell? You ever see Tigerland with Colin Farrell? Like his first role? That same figure that goes in the military and tells everyone, like, the military needs those figures in it. It needs those figures telling the troops not to just do everything the generals tell them. You know what I mean? That's like a course correct to me.
Yeah.
And of course, the military needs to weed it out, but they need to be there, you know, cycling through.
Yeah, because like you said at the very beginning, is Nurse Ratchet evil? And obviously that's a somewhat subjective term, and you know, does it exist even, you know, objectively and shit. But
she's definitely the catalyst.
The motives, I think, is why Jay asked it, right? Like, does she think she's helping? And I think that came up in the production of it, because initially they were going to make her just a straight up evil character, but then at some point they realized that she thinks she's doing the right thing. This is how she was brought up to believe that.
It's more about systems of power and shit.
No.
Or is it more that she's just a straight up like sociopath who just likes power? Yeah. And just
I think there's both in there, which is great.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, man,
her own mom is probably like that and shit, you know. I don't know what the show says.
Well, it's about power corrupts. Absolutely.
Yeah.
She got the position of power, it corrupted her.
Prison experiment. You know, you guys are familiar with that, right? Where they ran an experiment at a university and gave random students the role of the guards and the other ones as the prisoners, and the guards just almost universally just became dicks. And
Tim Talbot, one half of the Robotard 8000, wrote the script to the Stanford Prison Experiment that won the Waldo Salt Award at Sundance one year. So they made a movie of it.
I watched it. Yeah, it was good. But, you know, you're trying to compress a lot of information.
But you got to start vaping, man. That cough is sounding gnarly. Was that a COVID cough or a joint cough?
Oh, man, that shit just expanded way hard in there, and I wasn't expecting it.
Got to get a bong like my boy Chris over here.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm actually partial to a one hitter, but I'm not gonna lie. We did that first one, dude. I was so fucking nervous doing it, and I had to settle in.
Doing that podcast we just did. For those who don't know, we just did a COVID roundtable, and Butch was in there as the man on the street who's had COVID and had it tear through his family. That was a good podcast, though, dude.
It was like I tried to record it, but it said I had to get permission, so I just figured I can get a copy of it somehow.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be on YouTube eventually. Yeah, no bit.
But hey, I like this experience, and not because I think I'm going to be famous or anything like that. But I like to be able to talk and get my. Like, I think I've got a point of view too. And, you know, maybe somebody agrees with it. Maybe they don't. I mean, fuck it, whatever. Right.
And it's its own kind of high in a way, you know, just these kind of conversations in general, anytime I have them privately or on this format, you know, it's just, you're
not small talking. It's not, how was your day? What's happening at work?
Yeah.
It's interesting conversation.
The world's problems and shit, you know?
So, hey man, y'all really want me to trip you out real quick? Yeah. I mean, we're totally going to get away from old fun, Jackie man. Boy, but so July 25th, 2020. So just this past July, it was 7:26 in the morning, and my phone goes off on LinkedIn, and I have a message, and it says, I'm sorry to bother you so early in the morning. I think we may be connected on a family tree. Stella, very nice, very nice. We may be linked on a family tree. Could you email me at such and such? And she mentioned Ancestry DNA, which I joined in 2014 or so. 2014 when I was in Africa. I worked over there for a year. And I go to my Ancestry, man, and I look at it, and I've got this, you know, the little red, and it's got the white number 1 in it, and I click on it, and it says DNA matches, and I click on it, and it says Natalie Drew Decker. And I knew right then, I said, oh my God, me and Olivia had a baby. So, so this girl
love the slow play to that reveal.
This girl is 22 years old now, you know, and I'm like, all right. So I'm shaking like a leaf on a tree, man. And I know when it happened, the weekend, I knew every detail about it, right? So I'll regress and go to the beginning. So it's early March. The weather has just gotten right in Biloxi. You got to go to Biloxi, right, for tech school?
Yeah, I was down there with fucking Jesse Newton, dude. Me and him, that's how we started going to New Orleans every weekend once we got base live and shit at tech school.
Okay, so that was in Biloxi. Okay.
Me and Jesse now, who's some off-the-grid Christian.
Like in Thailand or something, and religious, like preacher.
The biggest coos hound, fucking drunkard. Yeah.
Got a lot of sins he's got to pay for.
Yeah, dude. Anyway, what's up, Jesse?
God bless. Homie, Jesse. Remember, I used to be the DD after I got a rehab. But
he and I got sent to rehab because, anyway, go on.
Anyway, I got to pay. I must have had about 18 Dr. Peppers.
No idea how much time we got.
So
you got a daughter. I saw some of this on Facebook. Didn't she serve in the military too, or some shit?
Yeah, she did. She's a Marine. She's a badass. She
Your daughter's a Marine.
Nice.
Yeah. But anyway, so let me just explain. So, and I don't want to be disrespectful in any way. Olivia, I thought was a great person. We had a early camping trip in March of '97. Just the weather got real good there in Biloxi, and so we went camping. And I'll always remember that weekend. There was always something special about it. Then it was always special too because I got called in by our squadron senior NCO guy. Started with a G. I can't remember, but anyway, he said, "What'd you do this weekend?" I went camping. He goes, "You did?" He goes, "Who's you camping with?" I said, "There's a bunch of people there." He goes, "You take a shower?" "Yes, sir. I took a shower." "Were you by yourself?" I said, "No, sir." He goes, "Was it Airman Decker with you?" yes, sir. He goes, you got to be very careful, Airman Walker. You can't be, doing that kind of stuff in public. You never know who's watching. I said, yes, sir. So anyway, that was March. May 7th, I graduated from tech school, ended up in Germany. Never knew anything about it. This poor girl went through so much. She's in foster care, taken care of by other friends, left with her stepdad. Her mom ran off. She's been looking for me for years and thinking, talking to her mom, is this guy my dad, you think? And trying to do all her.
Like, was Olivia kind of having fun at that time? So you were one of a couple
I had to, because it was a one weekend thing. Like the next weekend, like she was just off with somebody else, so.
Right. So she was probably wondering for years which one of these dudes or whatever.
Yeah, but she never even gave my name, So anyway, she put her DNA in finally, and that's how we found out. And then we've talked quite often. I mean, we FaceTime and stuff like that. She looks, I don't know,
like your kid,
like my daughter.
Sure.
She was just in the bikini class in this. Bodybuilding meet, which I think she's like 130, 135, came in second place. Like she's built like a brick shit house for a little girl, she's like 5'6", somewhere in there, 130, 135 pounds. And she was amazing. So, I was proud to find out, and it was just crazy.
But it happened during COVID too, so it's not like you can go meet up really and shit, right?
But when she found out she was in Houston, I mean, she was 4 hours away. I was like, honey, I would have come down there, but
Crazy. I gotta say, I'm surprised you've only had one of these pop up. You fucking cocksman.
You know what's funny? So the night before, so that was a Saturday morning. Whenever I find out, it was Friday night. I was playing gin rummy with my grandmother, and she said something about my kids, and I said, well, there's 3 of them that I know of. And then here I come home and wake up at 7:26 in the morning to, oh, hey, I got another one. So, hell, you know what? They grow on trees, they say, I guess.
You potent motherfucker. Potent barebacking motherfucker.
Well, I remember, so when I went to alcohol rehab, I started having testicular pain. I guess that my balls weren't used to not having sex with drunk chicks or something. I don't really know. But
it's a lot harder when you ain't drinking, ain't it?
Right. So they told me, hey, you need to go talk to this doctor. And they made me do a test. And they said, when I got my results, they were like, the average man does like 175 million per milliliter. And I was almost at 500 million.
Damn.
They were like, you're potent, man. Like you could just, so I figured, when I went to Poland, there ain't no telling what happened.
I'll tell you.
Like Genghis Khan over there.
Did you go there with Tommy Thompson?
Huh?
Said you go there with Tommy Thompson? He was knee deep in Poland, wasn't
Tommy T. He's still married to Carolina.
Oh yeah, right,
yeah. Magda, I've talked to her a few times. Yeah, man.
Chris has just watched a couple of old fuckers at the VFW catch up and shit.
So
I had enough military in our home life. I went screaming the other direction, grew my hair long, got a guitar.
Yeah, where's it at now?
Because we had a military.
Look behind him. He's got like.
I saw the guitars.
The hair, you meant, of course. I got a wig around, but
yeah.
Break out that Joe Exotic wig.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
I was hoping. I asked my grandmother. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. So when I told grandma, I was like, "Hey, my buddy Jay wants me to do this podcast," and I said, "I want you to choose my background." I said, "Here's what I was thinking," and when I showed her this, that is so pretty. That's what you got to use. I had another one that had like little, Playmate stormtroopers and Darth Vader standing on the side. There's a chalkboard and it says, "I will find the droids I was looking for. I will find the droids I was like." He was making them write sentences. And
I need a cuckoo's nest background. Can you like import your own? Have Martini sitting back there breaking cigarettes and shit.
Yeah. I got a dime.
No one ever answered. Do you have a favorite whack background of that movie or not?
Oh yeah.
It's tough, man. Chris, let's do a bracket of them.
Oh, let's break. Okay,
Let's do a bracket
right.
on the fucking the nutcases in Cuckoo's Nest.
Okay, so you got to have Mr. Harding has got to be a number one, man.
Harding's the number 1 seed.
I think Harding's got to be a number 1 seed just because his mouth. Okay.
Yeah,
you'd have to think if you went in there and
he's a
and
little
they just
abusive
told
too.
you
Like he was hitting Cheswick and shit on the boat.
what I'm saying is if somebody told you his character, check this out, and they said that, hey, look, just an example, you're going to try to help him and let him know that you're on his side and that you are going to support him if they're going to bully you. And we're going to go with that. Just let him know that, you know what, you care for him and you're going to support him. So that's what happens. And he says, I get it. Do you think I'm losing my mind over here? Do you think something's new? They're fucking with us. Okay. Is basically what he says instead of, hey man, thanks. And now we're both going to go, man, fuck y'all. There's 2 of us now. How many's going to be over there? Peculiar. Yeah, come over here, bitch, you little motherfucker, hanging out with that fucking 8-ball eyeball motherfucker.
There's the Butch I know and love going off. Hey, here's a question. Was Harding gay or not?
Yes.
You think he's a little...
Yeah, his trouble with his wife. Yeah.
You know how you just think about it. Just think about here's the moment where you know. Jack Nicholson is over there when it's medication time. He's over there giving Ratchet shit, and Harding's sitting there just looking at him.
Yeah, I want to fuck
and then
him so bad.
Jack Nicholson walks off, and Harding is still like,
Oh yeah, he like watches his ass. I gotta watch. I gotta do a is Harding gay viewing.
He takes his medicine and he can't wait to get over there. And he goes, "Hey, what'd you think about that, you hard ass?" And he goes,
"Yeah." When he spit the medicine in his face, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah, Harding was totally,
hard ass. That gives it new.
Harding totally wanted to be R.P. McMurphy.
How great was it that moment where R.P. McMurphy is telling the fucking dude at the little marina or the harbor for the charter boats, we're all doctors. This is Dr. Martini, Dr. And he said, Mr. Harding.
Mr. Harding.
That look on Harding's face.
He comes to him, he goes, Mr. Harding, he goes,
bitch. The one guy he didn't call a doctor. The most educated and erudite of them all and shit, of course.
It was funny too, presenting them all as doctors. It totally worked.
Here's a question. Which one of the freaks, I hate to call them freaks, but nutcases, whatever he called them and shit, you know, come on, you nuts. Which one of them would you least want to be like bunked up with? I got my pick, I think.
Is the Max Tabor one, maybe?
Tabor's mine.
Yeah.
Fucking Christopher Lloyd. I cannot handle it.
Yes.
Fucking,
yes. Exactly.
I love at the end when he's laughing when Chief left. He's like,
yes. Like the laughs in this were great. Yes. Just the random.
I don't know, man. I could totally fake a Cheswick if I want to tell somebody I was nuts. I could totally act out and be a fucking Cheswick.
Cheswick's great.
He might be my favorite.
As far as just the acting and performance goes, I think he's mine. The dude who played Cheswick.
He should have got a best supporting actor.
He should have. Who is that dude?
That was fucking
brilliant. I mean, he went through it, and you know what? And you know, okay, so what we were talking about earlier, here's a perfect example. Cheswick being pulled in there. Who is he screaming for? Who is his savior? Who is his Jesus Christ? Mac!
Well, Mac! I love how this fucking shit just it attenuated your ass when you got too loud. It was hilarious.
Just completely like dropped out when you got
Zoom was like, whoa, hey, but it's cool because you can track that arc. It starts where he's the sycophant to Harding. He's Harding's little bitch. He's like following Harding around and, you know, whatever Harding says goes. But then Matt came in and replaced Harding as the alpha.
Yeah. When he tells him, hey, when basically, here's when it happened. When Cheswick is bitching about his cigarettes. Hey, Nurse Ratchet, I want my fucking cigarettes.
He's totally trying to gain Mac's approval.
Yeah. And you know what? She's like,
got it.
No, I'm not going to fucking give them to you. So what does McMurphy do? Kapow, bitch! Here's your fucking cigarettes. Just give them to him. That's all he wants. Leave him alone. Oh no! Now we all got to go down here and get fucking zapped on the fucking temple. You cunt. You know what I mean?
Here's the great thing though, is how it tracks. Is at first he would have done something like that out of rebellion, but by this point in the movie, he was literally losing his mind. He couldn't listen to Cheswick anymore. In that scene, he's literally like, "Shut up about the cigarettes." He's like, he just wants peace and quiet, and the place is starting to get to him. He needs freedom and shit, you know.
Well, there's that, but there's that battle, and you see it, and it's all eye contact. It's all eye contact. It's not some old man with fucking leprosy hiding up in the fucking loft and fucking walking around and looking at people down below, you know, while they're trying to have fucking meetings of the clans and shit. This shit is going on right there, you know?
Hey, I'm looking up Cheswick. His name is Sidney Lassick, the actor. He was the spitefully sarcastic English teacher in Carrie. It's another role he had.
Yeah.
In what?
Carrie? In Carrie, yeah, I'd have to watch that again.
Yeah, I want to watch it.
Oh, no shit, man. I will too.
He was in The Unseen. He was in Sonny Boy. And remember that Lawrence Fishburne movie, Deep Cover, from like 92?
Yeah.
He was with Ellen Barkin or some shit, maybe. He was in that. He was the effeminate lackey gopher in Deep Cover.
Nice.
Which would make him pretty old by that point. So old and effeminate lackey and shit.
Yeah,
awesome.
man.
It makes me want to just find, I mean, you see a performance like that. Oh shit, he died from diabetes. That sucks.
Yeah.
2003, age 80.
There's just so much, man.
Dude, the performances, man.
These fucking days, you try to tell one of these millennials, let's sit down and watch One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. You know what? 2 years ago, there's fucking eating Tide Pods and snorting condoms, you know? They don't give a shit about fucking One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
They got TikTok
what the fuck
now.
is that? Oh, it's 1963.
I bet though, if you could get them to sit down and watch
Yeah.
it, I bet if they sat down and watch it, they would blow their fucking minds. Jack is just that. Again, no one else could play that role that way. Kirk Douglas would have been anti-authoritarian like he was in Ace in the Hole shit, but Jack has that devilish, mischievous shit. You want to follow that dude into battle and shit, you know?
Hey, it starts right at the get-go. They take them off. They take those handcuffs off.
Yes.
And the look he gives,
you know,
even prior to that, when he first walks down the hall and he catches, like, he locks eyes with one of the inmates, and just the look on his face, you know, is just like, man, he just oozes.
Interesting. Dude, Jack is the shit. He's a special creature, man. Man, no, they don't make it. But again, though, just the way they would cast this movie nowadays would suck.
You know what? I'm going to tell you right now, they probably
cravings.
wouldn't make that movie these days.
Truth.
Not in the way it is in that, with the bringing the whores over and shit, and
and it just have all the terrible music cues and all the bullshit in it, the fake movie shit. The way it'd be shot would be over the top. They'd make like the Nicholson's character himself said that he had sex with a 14-year-old girl, but she seemed 18 to him and shit like 15,
that. Like, what did I say?
You get that little red beaver right in front of you. That'll make you crazy.
Yeah,
exactly. And the dude was like, "Yeah, okay, I hear you. I know what you're saying." Yeah,
totally.
You look at her, and then you get that little red beaver, man.
But here's the thing. No, that's so lame though. You couldn't make that character nowadays say that.
Right.
But it's like, the movie isn't endorsing him when it says it. The movie's not saying it. A character in a movie is saying it, you know?
Right.
People are fucking dumb with this shit.
But hold on. It's not glorifying someone. He's already a prisoner, and now he's in a mental ward, and he's trying to prove that he's fucking crazy. So why wouldn't he say something like that?
Right.
Hey, doc, she was 15 going on 35.
That's the thing, is you can't tell if he's just putting them on to stay in the crazy ward and not go back to the clinic.
That's what it is. He didn't want to fucking work over there. And you know how you know? 67 days when he's picking at the black guard, you know, and he's in the pool. 67 days. You dumb motherfucker. That let you out of here when you gonna get out of here.
Washington.
And he's
that's
like,
a great revelation too. He's like,
and you see a breaking point in him.
Yes.
And that's when Jack Nicholson goes, oh, fuck, what have I been doing?
Yes. I played with matches
in his own grave.
Yep.
Yeah. So now he's playing fucking catch up, and he cared about those people. She did not.
Yep.
She just wanted to be, I am your God, and he really cared about them. He cared about how they thought. He cared about, making them feel good and letting them know, you're not fucking crazy. Get out of here.
Well, dude, he was going to take Billy with him. Billy would not be fun to hang out with. Billy's not, you don't take Billy because it's going to be good for you. He's taking Billy for Billy.
The kind of fun you have with Billy is if you're
corrupting him and
you're playing
quote unquote
Jack's role. Yeah, like if you're that's how you have fun with a dude like that. You gotta like introduce him to
Billy
things,
we'll find a 16-year-old girl and we'll tie her up for you outside.
No shit. Yeah, I wondered that. Like,
how many of these dudes,
like he was a weird guy. I mean, Candy was old enough and said yes, but you know what? Jack was a caring guy. He's more caring than I would be because I don't share. Like you can say, hey man, you want to swap wives? No, I don't. You don't want to try my wife?
Candy was a prostitute though.
Yeah.
Huh?
Candy is a prostitute, so it's not like his girlfriend he's sharing.
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm just saying it's not like his wife he's sharing and shit.
No, but hold on. How do you know she's a prostitute? When did that come up?
Well, first off, in the book, she's a prostitute.
Oh,
and then in the movie,
my mind.
In the movie, he's like $25 when he's setting her up with Billy. He says something about $25.
Oh, see, you just blew my mind.
She's like the town,
But he hangs out with hookers, and she probably fucks RP for free.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. Right. He's got a special.
But to get his buddies laid, he's got to pay and shit. But I'm just saying, it's not like sharing his woman. That's all.
I did think in the movie they kind of portrayed her as kind of an underage girl.
She was awesome. Her name, I was looking her up. It was a fucking weird.
Me of Patricia Arquette.
Mew Smalls, MEW was her name, Mew Smalls, and I think she was like Andy Kaufman's girlfriend for a minute.
Oh, nice.
In real life.
No way.
Way to go, Andy.
Yeah, because I saw one of her credits. She wasn't in many movies, but she was in The Man on the Moon. And then I was looking her up.
She was in Man on the Moon?
And we had to jump on the podcast before, but old, but I think they may have put her in there as a small role, but I got to look back just as like an homage, But I got to look back. I got to watch that again because that movie is fucking great.
And
but,
isn't that another Forman film?
Yeah, Milos Forman, yeah.
Yeah, so that's probably the connection, yeah.
That dude, Amadeus, this shit.
Yes,
fucking, dude, legendary. Legend.
Hey, speaking me say that.
Larry Flint.
Did y'all watch The Deuce?
Chris watched something, right?
I did. Yeah. 2 seasons, right? They're up to, yeah.
Oh, of The Deuce?
Yeah, you want the HBO show, you mean?
Yeah, you haven't watched the 3rd season yet?
Is there a 3rd season? I didn't even.
Yeah,
I can't. Yeah, maybe I did.
Yeah, I watched all of it. Like in a matter. I watched it over COVID.
Oh, see, I watched it as it came out, so I don't really.
Oh yeah, I think it's on Hulu, man.
Okay.
I got it on my HBO Max deal.
It's good shit.
Yeah, man, it's pretty good. It was kind of hard at first, and then I tried watching that show Vinyl, and I don't know.
We got a story about that.
Yeah, Vinyl, we've mentioned before, it pisses us off kind of because.
Watch the Rex Sykes episode. We talk about it.
Yeah, I tried to get into it, and then I got kind of lost, and then okay, I'm into it, and then.
Our take on that. All right, we'll tell this again a little bit. Chris and I had a meeting at Johnny Depp's company because they like the script of ours. So it was just like a general meeting. But we had an idea called Sticks and Stones, basically just following some Guns N' Roses type Sunset Strip bands.
You never really got to see the end of Sopranos.
Oh, you want to talk about the Sopranos ending?
Oh shit! that's
fucking just chiefing that joint.
Yes.
Hold that shit in.
Wish we could pass it, man. In better days.
I know.
Yeah,
so what did you think of the end then? The Sopranos end.
What?
Tell us about your Sopranos thoughts.
Man, I think it's some bullshit.
Why?
Well, you gotta make it look. Oh, 2 black guys walk in. Fucking dipshit can't get her car started, and she comes in late, and then there's 2 black guys are behind her. Hey,
fucking perfect.
Sorry,
divorce lawyer.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You thought it was like a cop out and shit? I actually like it. I think the whole point of it is he's going to be looking over his shoulder. He can never enjoy another fucking meal for the rest of his life. That's what you get.
But you see him, and then fade to black.
Cut to black. Smash.
What the fuck?
How would you have ended it?
you know what? If they wanted to like fully end it, just show it like, hey, show guns out and like just show let the final thing before you fade to black be that flame that shoots out the end of a silencer whenever a bullet runs out of it, and then fade to black, and then be like show a certain look on his face, not a smile, but like show him a turn, like like what's fixing to happen, is this for real, or because how would you really feel? Just think about that.
Then a DMT trip as he fucking dies.
Yeah. If somebody walked in and they've got a gun point, how would you really feel?
Well, it's funny you say that, because earlier in, I think that last season, he was out on the boat with Bobby, and they were talking about what do you think it's like when you die. And one of them, I think Bobby said,
yes,
you probably just go to black.
Yes.
So that was the hint. And I think
he might have been killed at the end.
Oh, it's a David Chase, right, on this. I always get my Davids confused with the different creators, but yeah, I think he confirmed that, or at least
so he did get killed
as pretty sure he kind of slipped up at some point and like let that hint out that was.
Well, that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Do you not hear the report of the pistol before it hits you, or is that bullet moves so fast the bullet hits your brain before and severs your spinal cord before you even hear it? That'd be crazy.
And even if that's not really how it goes down, it's cool to do it, as an artistic choice.
It's ambiguous. If he had just ended it with a bullet and then smashed the black, we wouldn't be talking about it 20 years later.
Yeah, it makes it controversial. That's for sure, man.
That's
I like the idea that he lived 30 more years looking over his shoulder. Yeah, like, I want to see him get whacked when he's like Junior's age or some shit over some dumb petty shit. The
only thing that pisses me off, I think they're still doing it, but
Omar,
they still wanted to be able to use Jim. They wanted to still be able to use him in some capacity because they wanted to do a prequel to The Sopranos.
They're making it. Gandolfini's son played him.
Yeah, I know, and I hope it looks good enough. But they really wanted to use him as an old guy. That's why I think
that was
he probably wasn't killed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You think it was some bullshit, Hollywood? Let's milk it for a sequel.
I'm not saying that. Who doesn't want to see it?
Dude, Gandolfini, fucking goat.
Oh,
hey,
as far he's up there with Jack. He's going to bring this back to as far as those dudes.
You're absolutely correct.
Yes.
Yes.
unconventional, magnetic.
Even you can't go all the way back to guess what? True Romance.
Yes.
That's one of my top ones, man. It would be
first one. It's the bitch of the bunch.
For favorite movie.
It is.
Yes.
It's definitely in the hopper for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Most quotable, even more than Lebowski, I think.
Star-studded.
Wait, yay.
Yeah, that's a
then
debate.
what? Then what? Sorry.
Is True Romance as quotable or more quotable than Lebowski?
Oh, I think Lebowski.
Oh
is,
shit! Nice. You think Lebowski is more quotable? Probably.
Hey,
I know I've quoted it more for sure.
Yeah.
Y'all know how many of these I sold?
Over the line. I'm calmer than you are, dude.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, Lebowski is all time probably the most.
Market zero.
Notice they're all Walter quotes.
Well, you miserable son of! I can get your toe by 3 o'clock with nail polish.
Obviously, you're not a golfer. So
get some beer, get some burgers. I mean, dude, it is the most quotable. I hate the fucking Eagles.
This aggression will not stay.
Really tied.
All right, so True Romance is
pair of testicles.
Yeah, the pair of testicles. And he's like holding his weed when he said it. That pair of testicles. Sure. Fucking
Oh, so good.
All right, Lebowski wins hands down for quotability. For sure. All right.
Let's do a bracket. Most quotable movie. That's a good one.
Episode.
Sorry, you had a point too.
That's good.
What was your point going to be?
No, I'm just saying that True Romance just had amazing dialogue. That is
the quotability. Yeah. Okay,
it's not quite because it's not as funny, but just.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but she fixed her teeth when she got older. I liked them better when they were in that movie.
So you'd fuck Elvis. Are you talking about Patricia Arquette?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was great in that
Agreed,
shit.
man.
Oh, man.
Super.
Christian Slater was awesome as fuck. Christian Slater, a little Jack to him, a little bit.
But man, you had fucking Dennis Hopper and Christopher Walken.
Dude,
and
Val Kilmer as Elvis.
Yes.
I was going to say Val Kilmer.
Dude, you want to get on Haunted?
Always
yes. That's one of our song names. Want to get on Haunted?
You want me to suck his dick? Oh, who the fuck is Dick? Yes, it's got some quotables. Man, you could bring fucking 10 Roman fucking gladiators, whatever songs mean Nicholson-starring.
Yeah.
I feel
Chris
like
Penn
I
and
have
Tom
an agitating
Sizemore.
laugh right now. I apologize.
Cast is amazing. Tony Scott directing. I mean, come on, that shit is sick.
Really does hit on all cylinders. Fucking Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman is fucking
Gary Oldman.
Drexel.
It ain't white boy day, is it? Yes, I'm telling you, True Romance is up there.
Oh, yeah. White boy.
Sam Jackson has a cameo.
Some gold teeth.
Shit, I ate every month. I ate the pussy, I ate ass, I ate every motherfucking thing.
No ain't as pretty as a couple titties. A pair of titties.
You're alone, right?
Yeah. Is it cool if I start filming now?
No, when we get inside.
Why are you here?
I just thought it was really interesting, that someone hasn't left their basement in 6 months, not even to use the bathroom. Is that true?
Why would I want to go out there? I got everything I need right here. That's what's wrong with most people. They're weak-willed pussies and parasites who buy into that whole "it takes a village" bullshit. You know how many aliases I've used calling into radio shows?
I've had it up to my goddamn gills with the systematic feminization of this country.
I don't think of course we want to. Get your own damn show if you think you got that much to say.
You live in your mom's basement.
Get down! Fuck you! What's so special about my loser son?
You really do hate your own mother.
She's a woman. Why wouldn't I?
There's some disconnect there, and if I can find it, what is hate? Where does it come from? Where does it go?
You want to know what gender you are? Reach down the front of your fucking pants and shoot fucking kite Black Lives Matter. Do you call horses slaves? Liberal fucktard. Enough with the parades and the rainbow flags.
Dude, this guy's... it's like pure hate, man.
Want to see something really fucking cool?
This guy is a fucking animal. He's got himself on a leash. He's itching to get off that fucking leash. And he's gonna fucking kill some people.
What a fucking show.
Stop!
What do we hear?
Look at me! Look at me!
We're gonna help you show them the light. We're gonna change the world.
This is Cactus Jack coming to you live from a studio audience.
To the man who calls himself Cactus Jack, we have watched as you have rocketed to infamy.
And you wonder why these cornered animals lash out. Pick a fucking side.
And now, we have watched as you have called for literal blood.
I know you're out there listening. It's buzzing in your ears, burrowing into your brain.
Do it, Jack. You're gonna love this.
I pulled that trigger on that motherfucker's head.
Your VPN will not shield you. The darknet will not hide you. You and your kind are finished.
You think I'm scared of you? Come and fucking get me!
Might I be your neighbor?